Hey lads, so today I'm gonna be doing a top 50 most wanted death battles, currently. I'll do something like this again. I'll think about doing something like this again next year. But for now, I'm gonna focus on the the ones I currently want this year. And of course, this was a top 50 specifically was inspired by the Raptor, and the newest death battle to release was Among Us versus Fall Guys, which was fucking awesome. And next time is Kratos versus Asura, and I can't wait. I am so hyped. So let's get this started. So number 50 to kick things off is Alphonse Elric from Full Metal Alchemist versus Nezuko Kamado or Kamado, I don't remember. My sister would know, from Demon Slayer. Alphonse versus Nezuko from whatever. I like this one because of how funny I think it would be to see it just another kind of like Frieza versus Megatron, or even Donkey Kong versus Knuckles, to where I see a giant go against a much smaller character. As to who wins, I couldn't tell you. I'll need to see both shows, but I love the idea of somewhat corrupted, I don't know, sibling characters, being Edward Elric and Tanjiro being I don't know, the main characters from both series, and these are their siblings, and let's just make them fight to the death. I don't see why not. Next is Robot Boy from the cartoon Robot Boy versus Jenny Wakeman, or XJ9, from My Life as a Teenage Robot. I love cartoon matchups, and this would be one of those cartoon matchups that don't end up being so Toon Forcey. So less of a Scooby versus Courage, this would be more of a Steven versus Star. But I still think this one would be really cool, considering I love the most I can say is I love Jenny's moveset in Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl. That's why this is number 49, but I still love the idea of it. Again, a smaller character versus a larger character. However, Robot Boy does have a bit of a taller form, so this could go either way. Again, like Alphonse versus Nezuko. I'm also not going to be giving a damn who wins. I just think the idea, maybe the potential of animation, if anything, would be awesome. I think that'd be great. Number 48 is Blaze the Cat from Sonic the Hedgehog versus DC's Starfire. And of course, Teen Titans is the most ideal Starfire, but again, they can pull from whatever because they're Death Battle and they can do that. Which is why I think Starfire might have this, though then again, Blaze the Cat is also quite powerful and has her other forms. I think this is the coolest matchup for both characters. Sure, there's Captain Marvel and Sailor Mars, but I really like these two because they're both characters are iconic to me. Granted, I know who Captain Marvel is, I just don't care. But Blaze versus Starfire is one of the cooler Sonic matchups that they have. Shit. Sorry, I dropped my phone, but this would be one of the cooler ones that they would have to do, and I think it could get to cosmic proportions, and that's always fun. Number 47 is Juri Han from Street Fighter versus Mileena from Mortal Kombat. And depending on which Mileena they want to use, it doesn't matter to me. The concept of this, I would hope that this wouldn't be another Akuma versus Shao Kahn. If anything, I would hope for it to be like Johnny Cage versus Captain Falcon, or even Ryu versus Scorpion, in terms of like animation style. Or like, I don't know how good those... Well, Ryu versus Scorpion is debatable, but this is a cooler matchup. I'll return... So yeah, two cannibalistic martial artists. That's the whole idea of it, but it's my most wanted from both series. From what I can recall, I think they're like Mercury Black and like what's the other one? X-23. They're good alts, but the Juri and Mileena, I love them both to death. No further questions regarding how much. I'm not going to be doing that the whole time. Number 46, I believe. Yeah, number 46 is Zarya from Overwatch versus the Heavy from Team Fortress 2. Zarya versus Heavy is definitely my most wanted Overwatch matchup. But I do, although Overwatch versus TF2, I don't know how played out it is, but I just love the idea of it. Two heavy artillery characters from both franchises fighting to the death. I think it'd be very cool. I would hope that the Heavy wins because I love TF2 more and I actually played it a lot and I main Soldier. But yeah, Heavy He's one of the greatest characters in fiction. So I would hope he wins, especially with that man versus train thing. Shit was awesome, and I hope this would also be awesome. We might have another Tracer versus Scout on our hands, except this one's good. Number 45 is Marvel's Mysterio versus DC's Scarecrow. Now, despite the low ranking, I want to clarify now that I freaking love all 50 of these matchups and many more. I gotta let the cat in here. For the record, I do have a Microsoft Paint list for all this, but I figured, I don't know, Google Images is more Google Imagey. It doesn't matter, it's the same shit. But yeah, this would be a cool Halloween matchup, and definitely the coolest Marvel versus DC specifically fight. This is like the biggest one Death Battle could do, unless they find something else like, what was it, Doc Ock versus Mr. Freeze. But yeah, this one would be really, really cool, especially those who invoke trauma. I think getting these two to fight would be spectacular. Number 44 is Geralt of Rivia from The Witcher versus Trevor Belmont from Castlevania. Netflix Trevor is ideal, but getting stuff from the games is also fine. Because these two are both like Demon Hunter, Witch Hunter sort of things, Monster Hunters. That's the, yeah. I don't know. They got a lot of connections that I think make it cool, like the scars on their face, and both characters from, goodness gracious, coming from video games and having their own Netflix series. I still have yet to see Castlevania Nocturne, but yeah, this would be great. Maybe not as a Halloween episode, but I'd imagine this would be like another Guts versus Dimitri with how cool this would be. Number 43. I'm gonna get eaten alive for this, but I don't give a damn. Cell from Dragon Ball versus Dark Samus from Metroid. Excuse me. And I know that Cell versus Metal Sonic is what people want, but I prefer Cell versus Dark Samus. I honestly just want to see Cell in a death battle, but more importantly... Actually, no, not more importantly. Cell's kind of an important character, but Dark Samus would also be a fun character, and I don't feel the need to explain myself further. I know Travis Touchdown from No More Heroes is more ideal, but, So Danny Sexbang versus Scott Pilgrim is ideal for me because, well, I fell in love with it when I heard Brandon Yates' track, Ninja Sex Bombs. But I really do think that Danny versus Scott Pilgrim would be a cool matchup, and last year I believe I finished Scott Pilgrim Takes Off, so having this one be the one that they choose probably wouldn't happen. If anything, they're going to use Travis Touchdown or Kazuma Sato, but I prefer this one simply because I don't know, don't worry about it. Number 41 is Skeletor versus Lord Zed from Power Rangers. Skeletor being from He-Man, whatever. These two iconic villains really just want to see Skeletor in a death battle, but I really love the idea of it because the death battle cast made it fun, as they usually do. More on that later. My demise is coming in 4 days. No, I'm just playing, but for real, number 40 is Punisher versus Judge Dredd. This one, I think, would be cool for the Torian episode or the live-action episode, but I want the live-action episode to be Batman versus Moon Knight, so the Torian episode could be anything, I don't mind. But if this is the Louise episode, I'm gonna laugh. But Punisher versus Judge Dredd is, my ideal Punisher episode. I had some other ideas, like even Punisher versus Rambo I thought would be neat, but I think having Judge Dredd in a death battle and having him not fight RoboCop could be very unique, and I like this one. Number 39 is Boros from One Punch Man versus Battle Beast from Invincible. Now, I think this would be better than having Saitama fight Invincible. Mark doesn't stand a chance. But Boros versus Battle Beast I think would be cool because they just both seem like really badass characters. And I don't really know much else aside from Battle Beast's appearance in Invincible Season 1. But looking at this Boros image and him seemingly holding the Earth, that's going to be a maybe on who wins. Although I think Battle Beast wins. Maybe he doesn't. What do I know? I haven't seen One Punch Man.